Hello my dear students, in this class I am going to continue with the same chapter, that is structural change. In this class I am going to continue with this particular topic of industrialization and urbanization. In the previous class we read what industrialization is and what urbanization is and why these both terms complement each other. In this class also I am going to talk about industrialization in independent India and urbanization in independent India. So these are the two factors which plays literally very important role in India only. When we talk about industrialization basically means moving from handmade things to machine-made products. So here there is a shift from handmade products to machine-made. So in this particular thing, there was an impact on independent India as well, because there were many people who shifted from agriculture to this thing, particular jobs, because there was a vacancy in urban area in these industry as well.
हम क्या तो ऐसे बना रहे थे यार, डिस्टर्ब नहीं कर रहे थे।
कोई नहीं, ये एडिट होना पुराना पड़ेगा। So whenever we talk about industrialization, is basically a shift from handmade to machine-made product. But other concept is there was a huge impact that was created in independent India, because there's a shift from agriculture to this particular jobs. But then too, you have seen in the previous lecture where I have told you that Britain was a country which adopted urbanization, because vacancies were there in urban areas just because of this industrialization only. And if we talk about other concept is urbanization, the shift of the people, the population in urban area in India earlier time was very less. Because at that time agriculture was dominating. At that time people were basically following agriculture. So if we talk about urbanization, then India's urbanization population was less at that time, and rural population was at upgrade. So this was basically the concept between given in India and Britain as well. So come to page number 12, where box 1.9, it is written that nearly a decade before the country's independence, in 1938, National Planning Committee with Jawaharlal Nehru as the chairman and A.K.T. Shah as the general editor was set up by the Indian National Congress. The committee started functioning in 1939, but it could not take much headway as the chairman was arrested by the British and a war broke out. So the National Planning Committee was set up. So this National Planning Committee was set up in this year and the head was Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, and later on many people were arrested by the British when they heard that this particular thing is being followed. Later on, if it are outstanding these obstacles, 29 sub-committees divided into 8 groups were set up to deal with all aspects of national life to work in accordance with the predetermined plan. The major areas in the committee focused its attention were. So basically this committee was set up to work for the sake of this independent India. There were many people were there who were divided into 8 groups. So this particular planning committee was divided under 8 subcommittees where people worked on various aspects. So what were those aspects? First was agriculture, other source of primary production. This was the first thing where people focused on that. Another was industries or other secondary sources of production, exchange and finance, human factor and labor population, public utilities, social services, education, women's role in planned economy. Among the subcommittees, such submitted their final report and several others interim reports before India became independent. Several reports were published by 1948 and 49. The planning committee was set up in March 1950 by the resolution of Government of India, which is defining the scope of commission's work. So when this planning committee was set up later on, so the main motive to achieve all the targets that were kept under this planning committee, all the points were there, and the main motive is to achieve the target and for the sake of the country, for the development of the country, because industrialization and urbanization was something that was taking place at a very high level. So such things that were points that were kept here was very important, because Jawaharlal Nehru has made some of the points that played an important role. If we talk about the last topic of this chapter, that is urbanization in independent India. You can connect with today only that urbanization took place in India from very before only. Earlier, agriculture was there, but later on, when it is realized that machine became compulsory, print media was there, so it opened a new job or vacancy for the people. So this particular job and vacancy that was created for the people, it made people to shift from rural to urban area. And this shift only gave rise to the concept of urbanization. So if we talk about urbanization, then it is given here. You will be more aware than increasing urbanization in India. Recent year, globalization have led to enormous expansion and change in cities. In 21st century, India will be witnessing fast-paced urbanization with the ambitious scheme of a smart city. So what they are saying is that day by day we are trying to develop our nation. The concept of smart cities also came. Earlier rural areas was there where there was a lack of facilities. But after the development of urbanization, the concept of urbanization gave rise to such other concepts. So there was infrastructure was good. Now also you can see multiplexes are there where you can see movies also. But these things were lacked there in rural area. Basic facilities were also lacking there. But if we talk about nowadays, you can see there are many metropolitan cities where you can see that not only railways but metros are also there. So from at the time of colonialism till now, if you talk about 21st century, if we talk about this century only, then this particular things were going on. And technological advancement also gave rise to urbanization, and such projects like smart cities also helps in develop the cities as well. So there are very less rural areas, although they are facing some difficulties. Basic facilities are also not there in some of the villages, but then the government is just trying to overcome with such a problem, and they are just trying to convert those rural area into urban area. So why people move to urban area? So we were talking about this particular concept of industrialization and urbanization. So if we are talking about urbanization, then you can see a shift from rural to urban area. Now why people are coming from rural to urban area? Just because in the sake of a good education system, we can say for good institution, for a better job as well. So people are just coming from rural to urban area, and there are few rural areas as well which are lacking for all these basic facilities. So these basic facilities are there in urban area only. So when there is a shift, you will see a shift from rural to urban area, then you will say that urbanization is taking place. And this particular from colonialism to now only, there is a shift from this concept, and industrialization and urbanization both are complementary. Why? Because this industrialization only, because the introduction of machine only will give rise to some jobs or vacancies. So when there are only more jobs and vacancy, then people will shift from rural to urban area. So this shift will be known as urbanization. So here, hence it is proved that urbanization and industrialization are complementary to each other. So it can be seen that from various examples as well, you can see how why this particular thing has been proved, because both are complementary. And the case of Britain, the first country where this concept of industrialization took place, and this industrialization took place, and urbanization also. So there also that particular country realized that both the concepts are complementary to each other. In the next chapter, you will read about cultural change, and we are going to read about this particular urbanization, industrialization, chapter 5 of part 2. But here only, the main concept of introducing this chapter to tell you that what are the changes that we have witnessed in our country, and why whenever we talk about urbanization, we talk about industrialization. So this was a basic concept which was introduced here just to make you clear with this concept, so that we can continue with the same concepts in other chapter as well. So I hope I have made this thing very clear, this particular chapter very clear, what is structural changes, from where we have started, the difference between previous conquerors, and also about colonialism. So I hope I have made this thing very clear. Student, please go through the text that is written in the book, read each and every line. The help boxes are also there. Also children, please do go through all the questions that is given in the NCERT book. So I hope I have made everything clear. Thank you so much.